Thanks, Coach. Well, both teams were hoping the rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A first down throw for Cousins. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's second down. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV. Called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for first and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. To throw, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Back to the ground, Cook. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, It's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
One of my favorite safeties in the league is Harrison Smith. His ability to support in the run game, as we just saw there, that's key, but also can cover deep as well.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Go! 55,
Mike 55.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
I know you felt that one.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a 1st. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Jones has it over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Cook following the penalty, and he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a hole.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And from down in Miami, an update. The Patriots have jumped out to an early lead over Miami. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Everson Griffin. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Here we go, G.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Play fake, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. Oh, a nice spin. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock back their route, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. Cousins to throw it. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. The Vikings on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Returnable here for Davis. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
You better be afraid of me.
Now Rodgers. Escape, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Oh, the ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. Flush to his right. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, we got 4 down. Hey, watch number 33.
Handoff comes to Cook. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Here's Rodgers to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Hey, 88. Pilot, 64, weak. Slam. Easy.
To try again after the sack. Rodgers. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Packers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The Packers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. Throwing is Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Green 18. You gonna see me in your nightmare, son. You gonna see me.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. 11 yards there. First down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Check 99. Back. X3, 218, chopper.
Here's Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
I'm coming for you. You mine.
The left side throw complete to Adams. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers have taken the lead. Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, just a deadly combination, and we see why right there.
And we've seen it develop over the years because when Davante Adams first joined the Packers, he had to earn the trust of the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. He has it in a big way now. He'll throw it to him long, he'll throw it to him short, but he always expects a big play to result.
Adams, former second-round pick out of Fresno State, plays like a first-round pick in the NFL. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Watch the backfield.
Cousins now from the 50. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. A spin. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 16 yards, a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run with Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a real...
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Rashawn Gary in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. And Bailey able to and knock it through. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 10.
The Packers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Rodgers now to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Linval Joseph picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing just about on his own goal line. And take it right on the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
Let's go.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Right there. Hey, Charlie. 54 miles.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 19-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Jones. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
54. Mike 54.
Here's Rodgers. From the dome, he'll throw. And left side here, it's Graham. Two former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end, Graham. Packer first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
You 26.
Check 24. Check 24.
Topper.
Rush in. Check safety. Check safety.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Tight dog.
They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
They'll go again to Jones. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Throwing, Cousins. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing is Cousins. And that'll be incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. 4th down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To the air again. It's Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins again. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Again, it's Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Open on the left side, this is Valdez-Scantling. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
I'm coming for you, son.
Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete here. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And again, it's Rodgers to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there at 22.
1st and 10 at the 49.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And Graham's got it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
And the blitz does come. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And down by 5. They've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Right there. 54, Mike.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers have retaken the lead. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3.
Hey, my 7. Check right 54. Right 54.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Cousins to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Zadarius Smith in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. On 1st down, it's Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Right there. 54.
The left side throw complete to Adams. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. They have gone final now in Cincinnati. And not much trouble for the 49ers in that when they open the lead a bit further. A win would be their first of the young season. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Defense, let's go. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 3 down.
Here's Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd down.
And 10 yards to go.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. A first down throw for Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll throw again. Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep down. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Makes the score Packers 25, Vikings 22. Dan Bailey to kick off for Minnesota.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. Uses the spin. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Packers, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.
wear ball mains. All I ever do is ball mains. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait, I can power up and level up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like a semi, yell nets. Every flow is unmatched, and I better get set in. Finish them. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum, all. In the end result, I'm better killing them all. Rogue One, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a team with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, but watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now. Every woman is a now. With state prop, you looking bleak now. I was home to sleep, designer sheets now. 30 different missions when I sleep and listen. Couldn't find the social fishing. Who the crew, it wasn't you. I know it's true, cause you look like the opposition. Run it up. Greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda made my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.